What's going on, everyone? This is going to be a recap video for a draft tournament that me and my local friends did. Quick look at my team that we drafted. We did a round of bans, so a lot of the main big boys got taken out. First round against Anadactyl here. Very spicy team. Definitely not really what I wanted to see on the lead. Those Embers and Weather Balls don't really treat Bronzong that well. And just kind of build up energy and try to catch the Weather Ball here on Machamp. Force out the switch, and then of course there's Wigglytuff. Don't really want to see that. These charms are just going to obliterate poor Machamp here. But because of its normal typing and just the damage output, it does a pretty good, that cross chop does a pretty good chunk of damage there. And I actually have the Wigglytuff pretty low. And I'm going to bring Bronzong back in here and just Confusion down, resisting those charms. And then I expect that Sunny Castform to come back out. And I have almost 2 Psyshocks ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and shield this up, because I need to just spam these Weather Balls. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Psyshock. Hopefully to get a shield, or maybe even just let it go. Then she can shield it up, knowing she has the advantage right now. And I can go for the second Psyshock. Either hoping just to take it down, or yeah, she doesn't want to use that last shield. Doesn't know what I have in the back just yet. So I'm going to let this go, knowing she's going to be pretty energy dry at this point, and I'm going to get some extra farm. But she switches right away. And just unfortunately, it's Mew in the back, so these Dark Pulses are going to hurt. And normally people, have been running a lot of Flame Charge or like Surf or Wild Charge on Mew. She's actually running Volt Switch as the fast move, so that was kind of crazy. There's going to be a lot faster, or pretty good energy gain. And then yeah, there's the Flame Charge, so now these Volt Switches are going to do just a little bit more damage here. But she used her shield on the first Dark Pulse, and so this next one's going to land, and it does take out the Mew. It is pretty squishy. And then I'm just going to be able to get to another Dark Pulse here. I do live this Weather Ball. It does a pretty good chunk, so thankfully... Oh no, I didn't even need the Dark Pulse. Alright. Was able to foul play, or not foul play, snarl down. I'm going to go into the second game. And not really a great lead here. These counters are doing neutral damage. And so is Body Slam, and his Body Slam hurts quite a bit. So I'm going to build up to almost 2 Dark Pulses here, and fire off the first one. I get the shield. I think I was trying to switch. It looked like it by where I was tapping. Yeah, there it goes. I just didn't switch in time. And she sends in the Mew. So I know the Flame Charge is on this thing, and I don't really want to take more than a 1. But I know I can get to these Leaf Blades pretty quickly, and it just does a pretty good amount of neutral damage, as we see there. Actually, yeah, see, I let 1 go, and it does a pretty good amount of damage. Now these Volt Switches are going to add up. Able to get to the next Leaf Blade. And it takes out the Mew. And the Vigoroth comes back in. Decides to throw this Body Slam. Go ahead and send in Bronzong. Encounters are neutral. I definitely don't really want to take a Bulldoze, so that was a good shield right there. And I'm able to Confusion down. And she actually has the Sunny Cat or Cheerum in the back, which resists the Bullet Seed, but not the Weather Balls. So I'm able to double Psyshock this thing right away before I have to take one. And it's enough to take it out. So good games there from Anna. go into round 2 against Haas here. A very spicy team. That Lugia, the Shadow Hypno, had to really plan around those. And I know the Typhlosion's rocking Incinerate. And of course, Dewgong's always a pain to deal with if it's not on your team. But I get a good lead here. He's staying in. I think he just wanted me to dump my energy. Or we CMP tied. So I know that all the punches don't really do a whole lot to Muck. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep going for Dark Pulses. I didn't want to invest more than one shield. And then he sends in the Typhlosion. This is just kind of bad. He sends in the Lugia. So he needs to shield this or else it's going to hurt. Yeah. So it does a bunch of damage. Those extra sensories are starting to add up. But I am able to get off one more, or get off a cross chop to force that last shield. And so I'm in a great position here. I got both my shields. The Sky Attack doesn't do too much. It's resisted. And then I just need to get to a Surf. So this could have been Solar Beam. But it is just a Blast Burn. But it still would have done a lot of damage here to Lapras. And I think this one Surf is just enough. Yeah. More than enough, probably. So take game 1. But yeah, that Blast Burn Solar Beam moveset, especially with the energy gain from Incinerate, you gotta be careful there. So this is kind of a wacky matchup. Obviously, don't want to get hit by a Stone Edge, but he gets to those really fast with Bullet Seed. And obviously, these Surfs just kind of chip away at it. So yeah, it was pretty. Oh, man, even Grass Knot still does so much to Lapras. Maybe we'll get to the next one, or next Surf here. And he lets it go, save it. So we're both still even shields. Brings back in the Hypno. And then he sends in the Typhlosion. I'm just going to be able to spam some cross chops at this thing. Yeah, and then it comes in the Blast Burn, but I've got him down pretty low already. And I think I throw... yeah, I'm able to throw a Rock Slide at this Hypno here before the Confusion registers, which is pretty clutch because it just gets it down, and I'll be able to burn his last shield here and then get to the next Dark Pulse before I have to take too many of these punches. She does throw the Shadow Ball there, which obviously is resisted, but it still does a normal chunk of damage. But there we go. Probably could have just snarled down, but why risk it? Oh, this lead is wacky. I forgot to put I didn't want Sludge. I forgot to put Surf on this thing. And it just does like hardly any damage. It's such a bad move. And then after this, I think I just start going straight Mud Bombs, which even then, it's really not that great against the Politoed. It's just like, that's slightly more than the Sludge. So let it go. I almost go down, and then he just is able to Mud Shot me down. So he has a pretty good amount of energy. I don't think I shield it. Oh, no, I do. Because, yeah, I was like, he has a lot of energy. Probably had Earthquake. So I end up with a lot of energy coming out of that. And then I quick swap in. And then, yeah, he has the Lugia in the back this time. It's a little fortunate that he didn't have... Muck actually was really good against most of his team. This is good that I didn't have to face the Politoed in the back, because yeah, those Earthquakes would not have been appreciated. So I'm just going to go ahead and spam out these Dark Pulses. And almost takes out the Lugia. It's just, even in Great League, it still has decent bulk. I do need to keep, or I could have just let Lapras come in, really. I didn't really need to shield. but I can at least so I store the Sludge Wave and quick swap in. Take this Grass Knot, and then I have 2 Surfs loaded. There's 1 and 2. I think I'll actually be able to get to another one before he gets to the next Grass Knot. Yeah, just barely. And shield, and then Bullet Seed. Actually, no, I was able to Ice Shard down. So I had the charge moves stored just in case, but ended up not needing it. So good games there from Haas. Gonna go into the 3rd round against Cody Griffin. I know he was a little salty. I took Shadow Machamp this tournament. So we had a good lead there. This is kind of a neutral matchup. Just I didn't really have anything solid for the Pelipper, I think, this lineup. I think I forget how, as I win this in the 1s if I land the Sludge Wave. But he does get out these Weather Balls pretty quickly. Yeah, it does take a little bit of a beating, and he just beats me to the next one, but I don't want that energy to go to waste. So I'm either going to just win the switch or at least have even shields here. So he doesn't shield, keeps the shield advantage, sends back in the Meganium, and I'm able to get to the Dark Pulse just to either, I don't think he's probably counting, but I did think I had the Sludge Wave there. So go ahead and bring in the Tropius. It's going to resist everything from Meganium here, and I have Air Slash on it. He brings in Frostlass, and then Frostlass is definitely not going to like this Rock Slide. And it one-shots the poor thing, and then it's just so glassy. And then I'm able to get to the Cross Chop, which I think is just enough. Yeah, it's enough to take out the Meganium. So it was a good first round there. Had good matchups. And really... oh no, I did switch it up. So this isn't very great. The Scrafty really kind of plays havoc with a lot of my team. I tried to catch the Power-Up Punch, and this is just a horrible matchup. Even though, yeah, those Leaf Blades are resisted, they still do a good chunk of damage. And I think I just let this go. Yeah, so I saved my shields and go ahead and send back in and do a couple more. I get a little greedy there trying to charge up. Oh no, I didn't. At that point, I probably should have just gone for the straight farm down and just had a billion energy. Or should have just sent it off quicker, because I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave here. I believe it gets shielded up. No, he didn't shield it, so... But this is just hard counter. And he's going to be able to shield it and just Shadow Claw me down or throw a Shadow Punch. Yeah, so... At this point, I just need to save a shield. But I'm out of energy, which is bad. I probably could have survived this. I wouldn't have done a whole bunch, but then I would have been... And he had another one right away anyways, so it wouldn't have made a difference. I would have had to shield. And then I'm not going to have a lot of health left to take out this Scrafty. So we're even going in the last round, or our last match of this round. We both spent a lot of time picking our team. I cut a lot of that out. So I get the lead here, which is good. It definitely doesn't want to. And he sends back in the Pelipper. And so I have this. This is a pretty decent matchup, or a pretty good matchup, really, because the Ice Shards are neutral. But I take the Hurricane. And then I go for Skull Bash here, which is risky, but I actually landed, but it was really stupid of me. And I am very fortunate because he's able to bring in Frostlass here and just Powder Snow me into oblivion and just store up all this energy. I do force the shield here with being able... Oh no, he doesn't shield it. I get to another one just because he's refusing to throw and his charge moves. And I get that shield because he has all that energy stored up. And I send in a Alolan Muck. I know he has... Oh, he goes for the Shadow Ball. So he threw thinking I was going to throw back in the Machamp. But I know that that'll be Avalanche, so I had to shield. And I just switch as quickly as possible to get onto the Scrafty. And I get that shield. I can't shield really, knowing that Frostlass still probably has a bunch of energy. But with that power-up punch, he's actually able to take me down. So that wasn't very good. And then the Dark Pulse isn't enough to take out the Scrafty. But I know I have to save my shield. I'm just barely alive. And even that once Powder Snow goes through and almost takes me out, but I'm able to get to this Dark Pulse. So by the hair on my teeth there, I'm able to take out the Frostlass for the win. Alright, so heading into the fourth and final round against Luigi. I was really worried about that, I'm about to call it a Honchkrow, the Mandibuzz. And then actually this thing, oof. Gardevoir does put a hurt on my team. So bad lead, and then I pretty much just lose switch here. He doesn't shield it, thankfully, so it does a pretty good amount of chip damage. I do shield this just because, I mean, Mudshot doesn't do a whole lot, and these confusions start to add up. I know I can live one Mud Bomb here, and then I'm going to force either a shield or, you know, at least win switch here. And so I get his one shield, so we're even shield still, and the Stunfisk is pretty low. So I'm going to just give up the... right there. I'm bring in the Machamp. I have a little bit of energy. I'm going to go for the Rock Slide. Just kind of a Hail Mary. Gardevoir's defense is really bad, as we see there. And then I'm going to get a little bit of farm with Lapras here. And then there's the Mandibuzz in the back. This thing is just a tank. I mean, it resists. I resist these air slashes and aerial ace. Obviously, these foul plays do pretty decent little chunks. That one shield, I really didn't want to go. Have to. I don't really know. I need to look and see if going for a Skull Bash and raising my defenses would have been a better play. Or just what I did and just spammed out these surfs. But the one Ice Shard was enough to take out the Gardevoir. So I get kind of lucky there with a horrible lead. Take the first game. And I was really curious if he was going to run that Seeking. See if he had the triple legacy moves. So this is a pretty bad lead. I think this game I just get hard countered, like it was Go Battle League or something. So yeah, so there's the Gardevoir. I go down before I can even get off the Rock Slide. Bring in Bronzong here. I know I resist all these confusions. Or I could resist the Charm, but he also is taking neutral from these confusions. Or resisted. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I shield up the Shadow Ball and I'm able to confusion it down. But I think we know what's going to come in here is the Mandibuzz, which just doesn't care about anything poor Bronzong wants to throw at it. So we get one little surf off, and then the Toxicroak comes right back in, and I shield for the heck of it. But he's going to be able to beat me to the second Mud Bomb, and he throws a Sludge Bomb. Interesting. I don't remember that. So I take him out, and then I just get foul played. I throw the charge move just because. This is... yeah, no, that's not... does nothing. And then Aerial Ace just to rub it in. So 1-1. Got one more, one last battle here. See who's going to take this draft tournament. So I call the lead here, so it's pretty clutch. Just gonna do what I did in the last round. I'm gonna get to the Psyshock here. I do overcharge, just kind of in case he decided to switch on the charge move. And I get one shield. Go ahead and shield up. This is probably Shadow Ball again. And then for some reason, I think obviously I misclicked. I throw the throw the bulldoze. And I switch into Muck here. Sorry. Really quick, I kind of wish I didn't, but I didn't want to let him get a whole bunch of energy. And he sends in the Toxicroak, doesn't shield the Sludge Wave, and I'm able to get to one more Dark Pulse. Oh, but that's why I switched out. This is why. This is why I saved my Bronzong, in case he had the Toxicroak in the bag. But it ends up exactly what I just said is gonna happen, because he'd be able to farm me down without, worrying about any kind of charge move. But I switch. My switch clock was up, so I do switch into Lapras. So it's pretty much GG's, but it's super close here. Because obviously I don't want to have to send Bronzong in back against this thing. And I throw the Skull Bash. But Mandibuzz is such a tank. It actually lived. And then one Ice Shard was enough to take it down. So this was a really fun tournament. Went 4-0, and we look forward to the next one. See ya.